this is a big historic month. This is
Yeah,
50 years, half a
50
century
to
since
this
your
month.
brother, Jack Brisco, did one of the craziest things I've heard in the history of professional wrestling. So,
And it wasn't a screw job.
no, it was not a screw job. It may have screwed the NWA a little bit, but it was not
Well,
a screw
a
job.
little bit, but I mean, well, we'll get into some facts here, John, and it'll show you that my brother did not screw the NWA. I mean, he fulfilled his obligation to the percentage of it, which I'll get into it. So, how do you want to start this, man?
Well, I'd love to start with just the thing about your brother, because I think this
Okay.
is so interesting, and it's a story that's never really been told by you, I don't think.
No, it hadn't, and I don't think Jack told it. He mentioned it in his book a little bit, and but December 4th, 1974 to December 8th, I believe it, December 8th, 1984. And it's 2020, it's Y2K shit that got me confused. But anyway, 50 years ago this month, and just to set the scene a little bit, my brother hadn't been champion very long. He won the championship, as everybody knows, from Harley Race in Houston, Texas, when Bruce Pritchard and little Tommy Pritchard were at ringside taking pictures, documented for everybody. For some reason, a mysterious thing happened. There wasn't any filming of that title change up until then. Just about every title change had been filmed, but if you go back in archive, there's no footage of Jack defeating Harley for the World Heavyweight Championship. And everybody knows the controversy that happened there with the Funks, who play, by the way, a very integral role in this whole thing with Jack and Giant Bubba. So let's get into it. Jack hadn't been champion long in 1974 when he received a call from Terry Funk, his own nemesis, Terry Funk. Terry said, Jack, as you know, Dory and I are booking for Giant Bubba over in Japan now. We have to book. We have the book over there. We control it. Baba wants to make you a deal. Baba wants to be world heavyweight champion. Jack said, Terry, everybody wants to be world heavyweight champ, and then just kind of set the table a bit. Jack loved the people of Japan. He loved the food of Japan. He loved the traditions of Japan, but he hated going over there. And John, as you know, you made that trip many times. It's a hell of a long trip. And so Jack, he said, it's not on the schedule and I can't do it. And Terry, being Terry and Dory, having the power and friendship with Sam Mutchik, who was president of NWA, said, well, we called Sam and we're just asking for future dates, for Amarillo and see what you had open. We know you have that December date wide open. You can basically do what you want to do if you want to book over there. And Jack started thinking, well, maybe this is my chance, So Jack said, I'll tell you what, Terry, I'll make what's your offer? I know you guys have got an offer for me. So Terry made him an offer. And Jack said that was one of the biggest insults that Terry ever gave him. And Terry and Jack were really tight. It was $5,000. Jack said, wait a minute, Terry, you want me to go all the way to Japan on my week off, drop the belt, and pick it back up at the end of the week and have to work in between there? I don't want to do it for that. He said, number one, he said, I had to post $25,000 bond to get the belt. I carried the money to Sam Mutchik myself. And there's a great story about that. Did I ever tell you the missing $5,000?
No.
Okay, well, so, to get to the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, you had to make a deposit for the belt of $25,000.
The champion did.
The champion did, or whoever was sponsoring the champion. So Eddie Graham was sponsoring Jack. So Eddie called me. Jack wasn't booked in St. Louis, and I was booked up in St. Louis. So Eddie called me. He said, come over to my house. You're booked in St. Louis Friday. He said, I want to give you the bundle to take to Sam Mutchik. I said, the bundle. He said, yeah, your brother's got to put a $25,000 deposit down, and I'm helping him with the deposit, and I got the cash here in my house. Come and get it. Holy shit, I don't want $25,000 in my pocket. So I go Go over to Eddie Graham. We of course count it all out. It's $100 bills in the old Halliburton, the old wrestler Halliburton. Every wrestler back in those days had those
Yeah.
Halliburtons. It's all bundled up neatly and everything. We counted out $25,000. So we start bullshitting a little bit about what's going to happen, with Jack and everything, and with the title, and actually what could even mean to me and mean to Florida, as a territory. So we had a great conversation. I probably excused myself, go to the bathroom, come back. I folded up the briefcase. I went, and the TSA had just started. It wasn't like it is, of course, today. So I'm carrying that bundle of money around, and so I go through there. Man, I'm scared to death. I got this briefcase full of $100 bills. I'm an old country boy from Oklahoma. I never had that much money in my possession ever, So we make it through, and Sam meets me in St. Louis. We go to Sam's office. All right, kid, let's count it out. So he opens up the Halliburton. He kept the Halliburton, by the way, too. So I don't want to carry it back anyway, but he kept the Halliburton. So we counted it out. Sam's got a couple of bundles. I got a couple of bundles. He counts out 10 grand. I count out 10 grand, 20 grand. There's $5,000 missing. John, there's $5,000 missing out of that. And I think, well, I know I've never had that money out of my sight since I gained possession of it. So I don't have 5 grand. Sam's being a hard ass word the other 5 grand words. I don't know if there's a work between Sam and Eddie or not, but I'm getting the third degree by Sam, and man, I'm sweating because I'm almost being called a thief on this thing. So I pick up Sam's phone and I call Eddie Graham. I said, Eddie, there seems to be a problem here. He said, what kind of problem, Brisco? And I said, Eddie, there's only $20,000. Well, I gave you $25,000. I said, I know you did, Eddie. I counted it out with you. But I've counted it out 15 times here with Sam, and there's 20 grand or 5 grand missing. Well, let me go over my desk and see if I can see what happened, because I haven't been in my office since then. Here he goes. I hear this rumbling around. I hear this. Yeah, I found it. It's somehow slipped between the desk and my easy chair, and I didn't see it. Sure, Eddie.
5 grand.
5 grand. Yeah. So I said, well, you tell Sam you're responsible for that 5 grand, so I can get my peace of mind back. So I put the phone on, and Sam, okay, everything's cool. So he said, okay, you go get dressed now. So I went to the arena, and I went and got dressed. But boy, what a nervous time. But anyway, Jack is.
Well, wait a minute. What was Eddie trying to pull a fast one on you? Why was the 5
like
grand
I said, I don't really know, John. That's I never. I had when I got back to Florida, of course, I asked Eddie. Anyway, he said, always counting it out, and I was just throwing it back in the briefcase. He said, when I tossed it in the briefcase, it probably fell in between my chair and my desk. Yeah, sure.
I've never had 5 grand fall out.
I've never had 5 grand. They're in a bundle like that, But I don't, like I said in the beginning, I don't know if there's a work on me, trying to. But I folded, man. I was folded under pressure, man. I didn't have 5 grand to my name at that time. I'm just about. I want to work St. Louis and work there for the rest of the year, and not make any money out of it, So anyway, so Jack is telling Terry, as you got to put up $25,000. So I'm gonna risk putting up $25,000 for 5 grand. It don't make sense. And Jack said, I don't want to do it, because like I said, Jack really didn't want to go, because as that time, the NWA champion schedule was just, horrendous. One of the worst schedules there was in the history of man. So Jack said, Dora, unless you come up with a better offer, call me. It's off. So good night. So about 2 days later, Terry called Jack back, and during that 2 days, Jack had concocted this little formula that he could really make some money with. So he came up with, and I didn't figure that out, so I'm gonna have to go to my cheat sheet here. So it's something like, all right, I'll drop the title for $10K. Yeah, that's no problem, but I got to be there a week So during that week, I get $10K per match that week.
Per match.
Per match that week. And I also get like $5,000 expenses per day that week.
Oh my goodness.
And it's got to be in all cash. And I want it when I get out of the plane, because if it's not there at the airport in cash, I'm getting on the next plane. And we know how honest Jack is when he says he's getting on the next plane headed home. And I'm headed home. And screw you. And so the total amount that Jack figured up came to 1974 figures around $250,000, which
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, all in cash.
In 1974.
In 1974.
So Jack wanted $250,000 when he landed at the airport.
Yeah, in cash.
You know, Jack, one of the problems with that, Jerry, is you got to deal with $250,000 the rest of the week.
Yeah. Well, here's and not only that, when you come home, you couldn't bring more than like $10,000 cash when you came home. But like I said before, TSA wasn't like it is now, where they frisk you and all that shit. So anyway, he got there. Jack said there was another briefcase loaded full of $100 bills. So Jack goes in one of the little private airlines offices in there. He counts out the money. Well, then he brings a roll of tape with him, and he taped the entire briefcase up with the tape, and he's signing his name along the seams and doing this so he knows if anybody's opened it up during the week that they've got to him. So he carried it, put it in a hotel safe. So I stayed in the hotel safe for a week. So so he went. He had the match. And of course, he did business with Baba, and he said, everybody said, he said he wasn't worried about Giant Baba at all. He said Baba was really full of integrity. He said, I didn't have to worry about that part of getting screwed by Baba, because Baba had too much integrity and had too much at stake reputation-wise. He said, but some of the jabronis that was hanging around, some of the so-called the koozies or whatever they are, and those type of people. He said, and also, I was there for a couple of days, and Pat O'Connor was there, and Ken Mantell was there also, to kind of be in Jack's corner, just in case somebody was trying to jump in the ring, one of us could help take him out.
So Jack brought those guys. That was standard procedure, right?
Well, that was part of Sam's deal. That was kind of when there's you always had backup there and something like that happen. So where were we here? So and they have the match and everything goes accordingly. Jack drops the title of Baba. Baba's champion. Next night, Jack working with Classic Freddie Blassie. He worked a couple other matches. I think I even worked the tag team with him before. The night I think he was dropping it back to, or Bubba was supposed to drop it back to Jack, was either in Hiroshima or at the Cortisone or whatever it's called. What's in that building? In
Which
Tokyo.
building and where?
Tokyo.
Oh, Budokan?
Budokan, yeah. Drop it back. One of those places there. I can't remember exactly what it was. So anyway, it went, and it was a brutally cold night. And back in those days, the buildings didn't have heating or air conditioning. It was just brutally cold. And so Jack was working with Baba, and right before the finish was supposed to come, Jack nearly got knocked out. Getting no title back. Now they'd have to go back to the safe without the title. Baba threw him in. Bob had that big ass elbow that he used to throw. Anybody worked with Baba knew that damn elbow was nothing but bone there. He had no flesh on him. He hit Jack right here, where his chin. He actually bit through his entire lip. His lip was kind of hanging off, and so Jack was scared to death of the Japanese doctors. He did not want to go to a Japanese doctor. So he got a roll of tape and they butterflied it shut, so he could travel, and then his mouth swelled up like that. And he, like I said, now he's got to worry about the fact of getting all that damn money back. Well, I'm carrying a bunch of money. I got money taped to my ass. I got money taped to my waist, everything. Jack got money taped under his armpits, taped around his chest, got a big old gym suit top
So you
on.
guys have got $250,000
$250,000
74.
walking through, 1970, walking through the damn airports and walking through Hawaii. As soon as we get to Hawaii, we go to a bathroom, find one of those old bathrooms we can lock, we take off all that money, put it in a big old bag. We're home, we're home free. So anyway, there's where the story gets really good. Cool. You're talking about screwing the NWA. So all this time.
Well, now, first, wait a minute. While you were there in Japan, were you guys ever concerned? I know you said Jack wasn't about Baba double crossing you and keeping the title. You guys ever concerned at all about that?
No. Jack said Baba had too much integrity. Jack had a pretty good friendship with Baba and had a lot of respect and a lot. The Japanese people, they have integrity, but like I said, it's not exactly Baba or your opponent that, as we find out in all these screw jobs we're going to cover down the line somewhere, that it's the other people involved in that, But
and like Pat O'Connor,
Jack swore that Baba would never make a day with that title if he tried to screw it,
So, and Pat O'Connor, I mean, that was kind of standard, people, Harley traveled with some people overseas.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure nobody double crossed.
Make sure there's nobody jumping in, nobody double crossing. Yeah, it was kind of standard procedure. Harley had his guys, and the Fonts had each other.
That's pretty salty business when you got to send somebody along with you.
Yeah, well, our businesses can get salty at times.
Yes, it can.
That's what makes it so great, man. That's the reason we love it so much. But
so now you're coming back and you guys are loaded. I mean, absolutely loaded. Got money taped all over you. Then you get it all off.
Got money coming out the armpits, man.
And then, so what happens when you get back and the NWA finds out about it? Because the NWA didn't know about any of this, right?
Oh, yeah, the NWA, Jack cleared it all. He said, I'm going to go over and drop it, and I'm getting it back. And
he did. See,
yeah. And Sam was worried about getting his damn 3%, the NWA getting it.
Oh, see, I didn't understand that part because I'd always heard that Jack just did it.
No, Jack made the deal before he told Sam, and then what Sam going to do? They can't take the belt off him right then. So Jack had already made the deal. So anyway, they get back, and Sam meets Jack at the airport, which all the time Jack was champion. Jack said Sam never met him at the airport for anything. Gave him a ride back to the office and everything. And Sam said, "All right, give him my $3,000." So Jack gave him the $3,000, and Sam counted out, and there's something like $3,000 there, whatever 3% of it is $10,000. $7,500 there. No, 3% of $10,000.
Oh, 3% of $10,000.
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he dropped the match for as champion. See, this is where it gets technical. Yeah,
that's only $300.
Yeah, so he gave him himself. Said, Jack, where's the rest of the money? Jack said, Sam, the champion pays you 3% when he's champion. I dropped it. From there on out, I wasn't your champion no more. I was an independent guy. I was working for myself. I did the bookings. I did the sweat. I did the butts of my lip open. So all that money is my money. And that's where all the discrepancy comes from. Sam thought he was getting 3% of that $250,000.
So Sam thinks he's getting $7,500 and he got $300.
They got $300, and Jack said, "Okay, Sam, you want it?" He said, "Baba was a champion during that time. Baba actually owes you the money, not me, because the champion owes you the money, not the ex-champion."
Well, you were on the tour with him, right?
I'm on the Japanese tour with him. Yeah.
So did they make, by paying Jack $250,000? Did they make that money back in the tour, or was that just an ego trip?
Well, it was an ego trip. But here's the deal: Inoki had just split from Baba, right? So Baba's needing a kick in the ass. So Japanese had never been heavyweight NWA heavyweight world champion. Baba is going to be the first NWA heavyweight world champion. It kind of gave his company the kick in the ass to take the limelight away from Inoki. So all that was the investment that Baba was making.
So Baba's putting down a huge chip on the table to get that NWA title for him.
For his company, to give his company credibility.
And he lost money as far as the gate was concerned, but overall it was for business.
yeah. And they were, I mean, they were packing every house too, you know, especially after Baba won that championship. You know, they're coming in first time ever Japanese world champion. So they did. If they lost, I don't think they lost much, but it was more the integrity stuff, giving Baba's company the boost over Inoki's boost, because Inoki didn't have the title. Baba had the title, so that was a big political battle. So I think it was done mostly for political stuff.
Was it reported in the States that the title had switched?
You know, back in the 1980s, professional wrestling meant shit, you know, and unfortunately, no. I mean, you know, the magazines, you know, of course, you know, even back in those days, the Japanese magazines were prized, same for USA guys to go over and be in the Japanese magazine. So, of course, they covered it, and that was the thing, that footage of Baba beating Jack has been shown, you know, probably 1 billion times over and over in Japan. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, they're both legendary for that match there. So anyway,
in the States though, it wasn't reported.
No, in the States it was reported by the aftermags, yeah, but it wasn't reported like on CNN or like ESPN like they are now, you know, when something big happens in our business.
So
it happened so quick too, mind you, because those magazines are put out a month in advance, right? Usually a month or two in advance. So it happened, you know, it couldn't be in there that night. You know, Jack Brisco dropped the belt to Giant Bubba. So it was delayed. It was what we call in our business tape delayed a little bit before they could get the news in there about it. By then it was old history. Nobody really gave a shit, you know.